Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Chichuki Plays. My name is Steve. This is a Celestial Return. You do not know how much of a pain in the ass this was to get to run on my computer. Just give me 1 second here. Okay, perfect. Anyway, this is like a futuristic RPG, I believe. I will It was such a hassle to run. Okay. Fluorescent light bleaches the cramped metal box. The air tastes like wet concrete. Howard leans against a shuddering wall, cigarette dangling from chapped lips. His knuckle drags beneath his left eye, again, like scratching at something that never quite heals. We'll play for like an hour. Crack a joke to lighten the mood. Bet it's just a raccoon, really. Misunderstood raccoon. None of the 5 PID troopers respond. Visors down, every muscle wound tight around their rifles. Whatever humor Howard aimed for, it didn't land. Neutral archive sync complete. The PID. The Codex, your streetwise gossip ride plus survival guide. What's inside? Lore, failed experiments, cosmic horrors, and dice keeping the whole mess spinning. Characters, heroes, villains, and that one girl who tries to steal sushi recipes. Trust me. Trust no one. World, flooded districts, neon alleys, and places best left to the rats. How to use it. Unlock entries by exploring, talking to the wrong people, or surviving disasters. Curiosity pays. Check back often. New intel pops up as you play. Why care? Lore equals power. Know the streets or the streets will own you. Read, survive, flex. P.S. Typos. Blame our unpaid intern. We swear they got it. Trooper Vex. I don't know what I'm seeing. Readings keep resetting. If there's 1 second, it's there 1 second, gone the next. Then it shows up somewhere else. You sure it's just one? Yeah, abstracts don't do groups. Not their style. Okay, and for whatever reason, the typing is just coming to a crawl now. Sync complete. Abstracts. No, don't crash on me. Oh, okay, we're back. Abstract. That's the thing about abstracts. None of them like being understood. You think this thing cares what it's supposed to be. I've stopped counting on rules. Things like this don't read the manual. Somewhere far below, a gunshot cracks. Faint, then another. The sound spirals up the shaft like a warning. I apologize, this is running so poorly. Kiri. Alpha's gone dark, so you're going in cold. Abstract activity confirmed. Follow protocol. Contain the abstract and extract clean. Every 6 seconds, the floor counter ticks down. I just gotta look at something real quick. Let's save. Oh, I need to name it. Hello? Manual save. Okay. Is there any way that I can... Settings are terrible. I don't understand why. They won't let you change, like, the running speeds and stuff. Okay. Level 15, level 16, level 17. Howard, status. Level 18, no contact, ascending, not dead yet. 18 down and still no welcome party. Delta Squad, report. Do you have visuals? Containment failed. It's moving through the between. Ah! Bullets aren't doing shit. What the hell is that thing? The line dies. Howard exhales a slow plume of smoke escaping his nose. The elevator keeps sinking. Level 21. Level 22. What the actual fuck are we dealing with? A pause. Only static. No answers. Just distant gunfire echoing like thunder through the shaft. Comms, that's 3 squads down. This wasn't supposed to happen. Vex reloads with shaking hands, whispering to himself. No one responds. The numbers keep ticking down. Deploying Scorched Earth unit. A Gamma squad, escort, and protect. Elimination protocols active. Repeat, all squads. Elimination authorized. No asset recovery. No exceptions. Burn everything. Kiri's voice shatters through the earpiece. A raw, uncontrolled rage Howard's never heard. She doesn't lose control. Till now. That should matter. That should matter. Would have before the meds. Now the pills. Now the pills dull everything. The fear, the instincts, the ghosts in his head. He wonders sometimes if he still needs them, especially on days like this. Then the familiar numbness whispers back in his veins. Alive is enough. The elevator doors screech open with agonizing slowness. A wave of stench floods in. Blood, wet soil, and roses? It smells like a summer garden. A honeyed, sun-warmed sweetness that cuts through the slaughterhouse reek. Backups here. Let's burn this garden. Same shit, different day. Worst garden party ever. Steps out, rifle up. The squad follows close behind. His flashlight spears the darkness, illuminating a graveyard of corporate sin. Desks, toppled chairs, shattered monitors, keyboards buried beneath cascades of paperwork, whiteboards smeared with half-erased equations and frantic red marker. Time to learn Netherveil's one true economy. Let's keep it simple. The basics. Every challenge has 4 slots. Toss in 1 to 4 dice. More dice equal bigger shot at hitting that sweet success range. How to roll. Each die equals roll 2 custom D4 faces. D4s. Faces 0, 1, dash 2, and 3. Add them up. Example, roll a 1 and a 2. That's a 3, baby. Not a great, but not great, not terrible. Roll 0 plus 0. Oof. Blame the universe. Risk plus versus reward. Slapping down 4 dice. Big brain energy, but heads up, these ain't your grandma's board game dice. Zeros can still nuke your total, so stacking them doesn't mean auto win. High risk, higher glory. Dice economy 101. Dice vanish after you roll, so use them and lose them. Run out? Automatic fails, detective. Farm dice by exploring, finishing jobs, and poking your nose where it probably doesn't belong. Survival tips from a dice addict in recovery. Hoard like the loot gremlin. Future missions will try to murder you. Save those dice. Embrace the chaos. Sometimes you gotta yeet 4 dice. Action, check the desks. Action, inspect the whiteboard. Spectral sight. Activate your boost. Let's check the desk. Okay. Howard sweeps the flashlight over the nearest desk. Buried beneath scattered files, a lab log catches his eye. Eden Core letterhead abstract. number 4781, EC subject phase 3. You can't follow all the terminology, but the implication is clear enough. Eden Core was experimenting on abstracts. As he shifts the papers, something clatters. 2 8-sided dice, left behind like an afterthought. He pockets them. Nice. Activate your boost. Howard blinks. The implant kicks him with a low throb behind his temple. HUD markers bloom to life. Ambient temperature, EM distortion, trace chemical levels scrolling faintly in the corners of his vision. He scans the room, left to right, ceiling to floor. No targets here, but whatever's chewing through the other squads, it's waiting on the other side. Inspect the whiteboard. Wait, what is that? Corporate die, -1 virtue. I don't think we want to use that. Okay, we can check the marker board. Howard steps closer, flashlight beam dragging over tangled formulas. His light catches a half-erased header. Project Nectar Replication Trials. Replication. His blood runs cold. There's no doubt in his mind they weren't just studying abstracts. They were trying to manufacture them. Rush toward the gunfire. Howard bursts through the doorway, rifle up, squad at his heels. Boots hammer metal. Breath rasps through comms. The corridor funnels them forward, then spits them out into a greenhouse. Shattered glass walls, soil underfoot wet with blood. His retinal implant kicks in, 1 frame, then 10. Then, hundreds. His vision drowns in overlapping detection boxes. Green outlines swarm and multiply, each locking onto something in the greenhouse. Roses. Hundreds of roses. Crimson petals curled like fists, cradling pale, dreaming faces, asleep in the carnage. What the hell happened here? Great, a fucking rose massacre. Are they actually dreaming? What the hell happened here? 2 years hunting abstracts for the PID, and not one has seen anything like this. He's seen things phase through walls, heard screams that liquefied bone. Is that how you spell liquefied? I thought liquefied would have an I in it. Liquefied bone. Watched creatures bleed light instead of blood. Never this. 2 years of service, a short stench by any measure, except the PIDs. The division didn't exist before the first abstracts began appearing in Netherveil. Okay. Which makes Howard, by default or by bad luck, the most experienced field agent still standing. Now, watching his sight drown in green ghosts more than he could ever shoot, let alone understand, a cold thought settles. This might be the last day he holds that title. A scream rips through the air. Howard turns. His spectral sight zooms, reframes, and locks on something much bigger, flying, shredding through a trooper mid-reload. What the hell's that? Moonface! Someone yells over comms. It drops from the ceiling like a dying god, limbs stretched wide, shielding the roses. Its body crackles with twitching nerves, leaking dark ichor.
Leave my roses!
A trooper panics and fires. The bullet ricochets, tearing a small hole through the abstract's side, but it doesn't flinch.
Don't touch them. I'll stand. I'll bleed. I'll suffer. Just don't wake them. They're all that matters.
Moving slow. Every breath feels like a decision. Howard raises his rifle. The squad follows. One wrong move could end everything. Persuasion, try to enforce containment procedures. Try to kill it before it can strike again. Try to keep balanced. Recommended dice. Success +4. Let's see. A silent battle where 2 minds clash, each striving to bend each. Let's try to keep them calm. Hold fire! No one shoots unless it attacks again. The rifles stay raised, but fingers ease off triggers. No one breathes. Moonface doesn't move, just bleeds, just guards. The squad holds. For a second, so does the war. Torch squad, inbound. Hold position. Gamma, don't let that thing get near them. Full cover. Copy Gamma. Defense formation. Protect the flamers. It's talking, Kiri. That means it's aware. We can reach it. You burn the abstract, the whole field goes up with it. It's talking, Kyrie. Negative, Gamma. We torch it before it tears through another squad. That's an order. One question, that's all. You've got seconds, not minutes. Ask your damn question, then we torch the whole garden. Howard moves. Slow, deliberate steps, crunching over soil and broken glass. His squad tenses behind him.
Stop!
Howard halts, drops his weapon just a little, just enough. Why are you protecting them? Where's home, and why are they dreaming of it? What did Eden Corp do to you? Is this what they were trying to replicate? Reach? What are you protecting them?
Eden Core understands. It will send us back.
Doesn't get to say anything else. The Scorched Earth unit's ignition roars in the corridor behind Howard. Heat licks at his back.
No, wait, please don't. They're not ready. Don't hurt them.
The flames don't listen. The inferno rolls across the greenhouse. Petals blacken, pale faces writhe in silent screams before collapsing into ash. Moonface screeches. A sound that shatters glass, then sanity. It implodes mid-air, spilling thick, iridescent black sludge that pools into scorched earth. Ash begins to fall. The greenhouse becomes a furnace. Around Howard, troopers scramble for the exit. Kiri's voice saws through comms. Move your asses! Howard turns to follow, then stops. Not for any reason he can name, just something in his spine. Not pain, not instinct, like being watched. Or remembered. He glances back. His spectral sight flickers, highlighting a single pulse beneath the ash buried near Moonface's remains. He steps toward it, kneels and brushes the ash away with shaking fingers. A single rose, unscorched, untouched, eyes still closed. Moonface's ruined mouth moves, a wet rattle, almost inaudible.
The stars remember.
Say nothing, just take the rose. Tell the stars I remember to. Whisper, I'm sorry, and take it. He tucks the rose into his breast pocket, careful as aiming a bomb. The rose nuzzles against his heartbeat, sighing. Warmth blooms against Howard's ribs. He walks away without looking back. Behind him, the greenhouse groans and collapses. Glass, steel, ash, and unanswered questions fall into final darkness. New quest unlocked. The one you saved. You pulled something alive from the ashes. Figure out what you just carved out of the greenhouse.
3 years later.
Smoking whiskey. Location, Crown Jazz Bar. Ooh, dice gain. Nice. Howard sits alone at the counter in the Crow Jazz Bar, a refuge for those who've given up trying to keep pace with the city outside. The faint glow of neon signs outside filters through the blinds, painting fractured lights into the bar's worn surface. His whiskey sits untouched, a faint ring of condensation beneath it. His eyes stay fixed on the TV above as it broadcasts the evening news.
In suicides across Netherveil, authorities remain. Numbers continue to climb.
The low volume of the television leaves the words muddled, forcing Howard to strain to catch every detail. Ask the bartender to turn up the volume. Stand up and adjust the volume yourself. Moves closer to the TV and catch every word. Ask the bartender to turn up the volume. Howard gestures to the bartender, a young woman with hair glowing neon green and eyes like 2 black stars with a shimmer of yellow. Hello. She pauses from wiping down glasses, glances at the screen, and nods before reaching for the remote. The newscaster's voice grows clearer.
The community is in uproar, demanding transparency from law enforcement. What is driving this sudden epidemic of suicides? Who will step forward to shed light on these tragedies?
The bartender stops wiping the glass. She folds her arms and watches the screen for a moment before turning to Howard. It's been like this for weeks now. Oh, feels like the whole city's falling apart. Overlord. Oh, I don't think we can get that one done. Take a sip of your whiskey. You hear anything about these suicides? Any rumors going around? This city runs on problems. If it's not falling apart, it's not Netherveil. Maybe it's the city's way of promoting extreme sports. Jump off a bridge week. Slam your fist on the counter. So when do you get off? Love to take you out for dinner sometime. Overlords. 4 dice plus 12. You hear anything about... The bartender hesitates. She glances around the bar as if checking for eavesdroppers, even though it's practically empty. People are saying it's the abstracts, like maybe they're behind it or something, behind it somehow. Howard's gaze doesn't leave his glass, his tone carrying weight. I don't know. It wouldn't be the first time. If it's abstracts, we're already too late. Maybe it's not abstracts this time. Thought we weren't supposed to say that word out loud. Yeah, but what the hell are they? Aliens? Something New Genesis cooked up? Doesn't matter, right? They showed up. PID takes them out and everyone pretends that's enough. But it's not. Not even close. It's not? PID doesn't ask questions. That's what they're for. You don't need to you don't need to tell... What? You don't need me to tell you the answer to that. You worked with the PID? You must have seen things. You really don't know what they are? Nobody knows. No. Just say I've seen enough to stop asking that question. If I did, we wouldn't be having this conversation. Nobody knows. That's what scares me. If the PID doesn't know what the hell are the rest of us supposed to do? Howard doesn't respond. His eyes fixed on the glass in front of him. The silence between them stretches, heavy and unanswered. Instead of silence, let your mind wander. Take a sip. The city runs on problems. How many dice do I have in my inventory? I have 4 exactly. Persuasion. A silent battle where 2 minds clash. The partner chuckles, shaking her head as she wipes down the counter. So what keeps you here? The endless excitement or the glamorous nightlife? Free misery with every drink? I heard living costs extra. I like watching things fall apart. Glamorous nightlife, obviously. Look at this place. You've got terrible taste, you know that? But I guess that's why we're all still here, waiting to see. Alright, we're going to ask her out. Okay, we need to roll a 12. Five! She finishes drying a glass and slowly sits it down, like ending a thought. Stick to the whiskey, detective. It hurts less. Howard leans forward, his elbow resting on the counter, staring blankly at the glass. The bar noise fades, the hum of the TV dissolving into a background whispers, until all that remains is the hollow silence of his thoughts. And then they start. You've been here before, haven't you? Sitting in the quiet, pretending it's peace. It's not. It's avoidance. Hayward, my man. You're staring at that whiskey like it's got all the answers. It don't. Trust me, I've tried. Stop! You say something? Ask her for another drink. Something fancy. A cocktail, perhaps. One with those umbrellas. That'll cheer you up.
Yes, because a man brooding over suicides absolutely screams, might I? Great suggestion.
Shut up! He doesn't need this crap right now. The voices clash like storm clouds rumbling in his skull. The tension stretches thin. Shut the fuck up, all of you. A few heads turn, giving him that familiar look. Another guy losing it after too many drinks. Then, as if the universe had been waiting for the right moment, the door to the bar swings open and a figure steps inside. Howard's head lifts, his eyes narrowing as boots scrape across the floor, loud and deliberate. The sound is sharp enough to cut through the haze in his mind. Perception. Reynolds. Neutral archive says sync complete. Officer Reynolds. Officer Reynolds. He locks eyes with Howard, his expression coiled tight with urgency. Without hesitation, he crosses the room. Shouldn't you be out flashing that badge of yours somewhere? Reynolds pulls out the stool next to him, sitting with a sigh. I've been flashing it all day, clashing leads that go nowhere. Though I'd try something smarter. You look worse than I feel. That bad? And that brought you here? You look worse than I feel. Yeah, say what you want, but you're still the guy people call when they've run out of better options. Take that as a compliment. Okay, I don't have dice. Foolishness, sure, but if this is about the stolen rubber duckies from the toy store, it wasn't me. Why me? Don't you have a whole department for this? Reynolds exhales, leaning back slightly in his stool as if the debating were to begin. Ordinarily, yeah, but this isn't ordinary. He pauses, glancing at the bartender before leaning in, voice lower. It's small, a few suicides here or there, nothing unusual, but now it's everywhere. Jumpers, overdoses, hangings. And this is police business because... Reynolds reaches into his coat and pulls out a thin folder, tossing it onto the counter between them. The edges are frayed from overuse. NVPD's had been chasing this suicide spike for months. Months! Autopsies. Wow. Clean. No pattern. No dealers. No goddamn reason. You know how many bodies I've stood over? They look relieved, like something let them go. And don't give me that PID smirk. I know what you're thinking. Abstract? Exactly. And if it's abstracts, that's PID territory. You know how it works? They swoop in, take over, and we're left holding our dicks while they hoard the budget and the glory. Hell, half my guys still remember when we worked our own cases. Now, we'll just clean up for PID's leftovers. His gaze locks onto Howard. Help me close this before they get their claws in. You ran with the PID. You've seen their mess. I need your eyes on this before it's out of my hands. Here we go, detective. This could be the case you've been waiting for. You've been drifting for too long. A case like this... you've been drifting for too long. A case like this could be your way back. Back to the work that mattered. Back to being the person you once were. Think about the doors it could open. Or the ones that could slam shut. What happens when it blows up in your face? This desperation like Reynolds doesn't come without strings. You really want to get tangled in this mess? A big case means a big payday, right? Sounds like easy money to me. It's not about the money or the reputation. It's about the people. Someone out there needs help, and you have the skills. Virtue. I'll do it. These deaths, they deserve justice. Foolishness. Sure, why not? It could be fun. Fine, I'll take a look, but no promises. I'll do it. New quest unlocked. Smoke, shadows, and body bags. Check your quest log. The hunt starts in 5, 4, 3. Head back to the office to dig into the case files. Time to talk about the junk in your pockets. What are items? Well, good thing you asked. Items being the ruse of skill checks. Wow, I don't know why I read it like that. Some boost you, some sabotage you, and some are just plain weird. They can affect all kinds of roles, either passively or on demand. Passive items. These live in your pockets without paying rent. Passive items stay active until the end of the game. You don't need to click a thing. When a relevant skill check happens, they automatically appear in the upper right corner, right panel. Got a perception bonus? Rolling perception? Bam! Congrats, the item shows up and does its thing. Single-use item. Okay, we got... To use one, they stack bonuses. You remember these right after the roll fails. To use one, drag it from the left side onto the lower right. Okay. Knew I could count on you. And there's one more thing. Thought you should hear it from me before it gets twisted through the grapevine. DK's father. DK! Donkey Kong. He's dead. Jumped off the top of a PID research wing 2 months ago. Shit. Yeah, I don't know if you two still talk, but figured you should know. He adjusts his coat, tugging up the wow, I cannot read tonight. He adjusts his coat, tugging the collar up as though bracing for an unseen chill. You know where to find me. Don't take too long. The door creaks open. A gust slips in, then shuts with a thud. Howard leans back, eyes on the folder, heavy with a promise of trouble. Insights. Time to break your protagonist's brain. Here's the essentials for shaping their personality, flaws, genius, chaos, and all. What's insight? Insight points equal brain upgrades. Earn them by collecting 6 XP. 6 XP is 1 insight point. Alright. Where does it tell you how many? Oh, 0. Alright. You gained plus 4 dice and 1 XP. What the hell did I just agree to? Too late now. Might as well enjoy the ride. You knew exactly what you were doing. Oh, sorry, I had to sneeze. Howard grabs the folder, nods to the bartender, and steps out into the rain. The city greets him like it always does, cold, wet, and sick of its face. Hey, come on, things are running good. Netherveil. Neon burns, shadows bite. Welcome back to the gutter, detective. You know these streets better than your own reflection. But let's see if you still got the chops. Movement controls. Use WASD or hold right click and drag to glide the map around. Double click anywhere for hyper skate mode. Yes, his boots have illegal mods. No, don't ask. Exploring locations. Open spots glow with icons. Think cyber breadcrumbs. Click the icon. Howard autopilot's there. Sit back and enjoy the ride. One visit isn't enough. Places change every visit. Come back later and it might not look the same. New dice, new loot, new danger. Okay, random encounter. Comic vibrates in his coat. A low buzz that has no business showing up at this hour. DK's calling. He freezes. 3 years. 3 years since the fight, since I never want to see your wreckage again, Howard. I'm not a word all this time. If she's calling now, it's life or death. Oh, it could be a butt dial. Look up. Howard, it's me. Look, I wouldn't call you if it wasn't bad. I don't know what to do. I need you, please. She's scared. Morning scared. Genuine terror. The line clicks off. A location pin appears on the screen. Scarlet Needle Tattoo, Maglift District. Skin deep. You don't get to pretend you didn't hear it. The alley smells suddenly of her perfume, a ghost memory he thought he buried. Oops. A location pin is pushing in the Maglift District. That's the bar. Heckle. The streets here are quieter, not peaceful quiet, predatory quiet. Howard stands across from the studio, half lit by a flickering neon sign. Scarlet Needle, buzzing red like it's bleeding light. Are you ready to see her again? A guttural moan tears through the silence. He isn't, but we got bigger problems. He pushes inside, gun instinctively half drawn. DK turns, her eyes lock onto his, wide, stunned, tears streaking down both cheeks. Behind her, a girl crouches on the floor, body convulsing. Blood spills from her lips, but it's the arm that draws the eye. Etched into her forearm, the ink isn't sitting on the skin. It's burrowing, coiling, thrashing, trying to digest her radius. Intelligence. Tell me exactly what happened. Foolishness. It's one hell of a 3D effect. Where is the artist? Panic helps no one. We stabilize her first. Let me check these insights. Perception, perceive, intelligence, foolishness, virtue. I want to do virtue. She wipes her face and nods, trying to steady her voice. Yeah, okay, focus. Help her, please. Who is she? Yara, my girlfriend. I can't lose her, Howard. Howard steps closer. The ink squirms under Yara's skin. It's like being pulled from inside. Spectral sight. Static crackles as spectral sight floods Howard's vision, but instead of the clean geometric tags are usually cage and abstract, the pattern beneath Yara's skin flickers like a corrupted signal. Yara's arm spasms as the thing burrows deeper, avoiding the green overlays like they burn. Anger issues. Kick the back door down, find the bastard who did this. Perception. Scour the workstation, look for the specific ink or tools used to inflict this. Take Yara's hand, speak gently, try to reach the abstract. Scour the workstation. Look for the specific ink or tools used to inflict this. Fingers crossed that the power doesn't go out because my lights were flickering. Take Yara's hand. Alright, let's do the roll. Okay, plus 2 dice bonus. Plus 3 dice bonus. Alright, we should get it. 19. Oh, we got it. Howard snaps on a latex glove. He rifles through the spilled ink caps, needles, and used tissues. There, sitting amidst the filth. That doesn't look like tattoo equipment. His fingers close around a heavy brushed chrome cylinder. A piadicatina vial. Interesting. How did it end up here? Take it. Howard kneels, taking Yara's shaking hand. His gaze drills into the writhing ink devouring her skin. Virtue, she doesn't deserve this. You don't have to stay inside her. Let her go. I know some of you understand words. Withdraw now. The ink doesn't answer, but she does. Her voice slips out between clenched teeth, every word soaked in pain. I shouldn't have come here. I just thought maybe a fresh start would help. Veins of black ink shoot violently up her arm, seizing her shoulder. Howard, stop! You're making it worse! Stupid, I ruined everything. I'm sorry, Dee. Stop! There is a rhythm to the growth of what is triggering it. I have no dice. Alright, we gotta do anger issues. Oh god, we gotta blow the arm off. Oh god, that was bad. The logic of violence takes over fast. Simple, permanent. Howard doesn't argue with the thought. He unholsters his gun. Howard, what are you... The roar sucks the air out of the shop. Yara is thrown back into the chair, passing out instantly from the shock. Where the abstract was, there is now only a ruin of muscle and bone. Howard grabs a stack of towels and jams them against the stump, applying his full body weight to the wound to stem the flow. She'll live. Hold this. DK stands paralyzed. Her eyes are wide, trembling, locked on the smoking gun, then on the wall spattered with dead gray sludge. She looks at the gruesome wound, then at Yara's chest, rising and falling rhythmically. The math clicks behind her eyes. It's horrific, but she's alive. She rushes forward, her hands shaking so hard she can barely grip the fresh towels Howard points to. Howard steps back, his hands slick with red. One of the towels remains gripped in his fist, heavy and sodden. You saved her. Just go, Howard. I'll get the medics. Just go. You didn't save anything. You just changed the shape of the tragedy. Howard looks down at his hand. He's still holding the bloody rag he used to stop the bleeding. He tries to drop it, but the fingers don't open. Item acquired. Yara's bloody towel. Quest complete. Skin deep. 0 XP acquired. Validation denied. Butchery requires no skill, only a heavy hand. He pushes out into the Maglyph district. The rain has started again. Cold iron water slicking the streets. Howard stops under the awning. He cups his hand and lights a never puff. The smoke fills his lungs, but it doesn't cover the smell of iron on his hands. Some stains don't wash out. Okay, not do anything in tackle? I guess not. Digging deeper. Rain clings to Howard's coat as he steps inside. The case folder mocks him from his desk. Beside it, a mug of coffee sits cold and neglected. Coffee's been sitting long enough to make friends with the desk. Don't think it's going to do you any favors. He lifts the mug, tilting it slightly and watching the liquid swirl, as if the answers might float to the surface. His reflection stares back, fractured and warped. The silence in the room grows louder. The coffee looks like it's plotting something. Better keep an eye on it. Big mug hug. That focus Howard, the answers aren't in the coffee. You can't help them if you don't try. He sets the mug down, the ripples fading as he turns his attention to the folder, still waiting for him to face it. Empty files, like a life undone, echoes of choices you owe them. The longer you sit there, the colder the trail gets. Open the folder, start with what you know. Howard pulls the folder closer. Inside, a jumble of photos, reports, and scribbled statements waits to be sorted. Serena Koss, a corporate executive for Ectovision, died after jumping from the balcony of her luxury high-rise apartment. Serena's body lies contorted, hips dislocated, limbs twisted beyond human limits. Her shattered skull spills moraine matter across the pavement, smeared like something crawling in its final moments. Howard's stomach knots. Howard flips to the autopsy report, looking for anything unusual. The cause of death is obvious: blunt force trauma from a high-altitude fall. The injuries are exactly what you'd expect from that kind of drop. Nothing more, nothing less. Howard scans the report. The household assistant, a maintenance bot, synced to her approval, logged biometrics 24/7. Routine vitals steady, except at 2:20 a.m. Serotonin spiked to lethal levels, no physical trigger. A neighbor's statement. And she stood there out there for hours, even in the rain. She wouldn't move, just staring at the skyline. She liked the wind, said it made everything feel lighter. That word again, lighter. Howard flips through the security reports, eyes moving over the transcript. Her balcony railing is low, barely waist high, easy to climb, just as easy to trip over. But the footage is clear. She didn't fall, she stepped. No struggle, no hesitation, just gravity. At 2:14 a.m., Serena Koss walked onto her balcony, stood motionless for 6 minutes and 32 seconds. Then she stepped forward, calm as a sleepwalker. One detail catches his attention. Incoming comic call. Caller ID unknown. 2:20:46. 2 seconds later, steps forward. Someone reached her at the very last second. Whoever it was, they didn't try to stop her. Or maybe it was a command. Howard closes the file. Every detail of Serena Koss etched into his mind. Now it's time to move on to the others. Howard pulls out the Izo Ogura file, flipping it open. A mess of reports, photos, and dive logs spill onto the desk. Izo Ogura, 32, independent Neth finder. Lived alone, no registered family or emergency contacts. Finances stable, no debt, low profile and a clean record. Neural archive sync completed. A Neth finder. Okay. Just another ghost in the system until he wasn't. Howard lifts the grainy photo. Agora slumped in his chair. Neural bridge still clamped on. Cables thread into his approval. A half-eaten nutrient paste rests nearby, smeared across the desk. He was mid-bite. Something cut him off fast. The log shows Agora running a recursive scan of his own neural archives. Session start. Accessing sensory logs. Foreign signature detected. Data fragmented. Unrecognized encryption. Running bypass. Neural feedback surge. Emergency terminated. User force shutdown. Howard frowns. Agora was digging through his own mind. The session ends with a self-termination. No external triggers. He overloaded after this. Why about mid-dive just to fry yourself? The neighbor's statement is cold and empty. Lived next door to Agora for a while. Don't have much to say. Kept to himself. Never caused trouble. Either the witness didn't care or they were choosing their words carefully. Last time I saw him, no idea. Maintenance went in after his rent auto payment failed. The door was still locked from the inside. The autopsy says what he expected. Self-induced neural overload. No signs of struggle. But one thing jumps out. A crumpled note in Agora's pocket. He said it wouldn't help, that I'd feel lighter. I trusted him to fix me. Now I don't know what's left of me. He trusted someone to fix him. What if they did? What if that was the result? He leans back, eyes unfocused, just ink on paper, just a case, just data. But the words still echo. Howard closes the file, every detail of Izo Ogura etched into his mind. Howard flips open the file, scanning the first few pages. Atellus Gorvez, tech doc, found dead in his workshop. Howard picks up the first photo. Gorvez is slumped in the corner of his workshop, his lips blue, fingers frozen mid-claw at his throat. A trail of dried blood streaks from his nostril. The workbench nearby holds a half-assembled augment tool scattered in an overturned biogel vial. Its residue hardened like glass. Sorry, it's a little small, that's the text. He died mid-repair. No signs of a fight. Howard flips to the autopsy report, focusing on a key detail. Nothing unusual stands out. Cause of death, asphyxiation due to biogel expansion in the airway. Ugh. External trauma, deep scratches along the neck and chest, self-inflicted. Toxicology, no traces of drugs, alcohol, or sedatives. Comic logs reveal months of calls to a private line, same clipped exchange. Same time tomorrow. Progress takes consistency. Sounds like regular appointments, but what for? Howard picks up Gorvez's worn, grease-stained notebook. Its pages crammed with repair logs and client quotes. Routine until the final entries. Ink blotted, letters slanting wildly as if written mid-tremor. Last page, bottom corner. If it happens again, I have to tell someone. Howard closes the file, every detail of Atellus Gorvez etched into his mind. Got 1 XP. Howard leans back, rubbing his eyes. He's been poring over the files for hours, and nothing lines up the way it should. Rain crawls down the window in uneven trails. For a moment, he just listens to the city, to the hum of things moving forward. His fingers tap against the desk, slower now. He needs another angle, someone who sees things differently. If only she were here. She always knew where to start. His limbs grow heavy. The words on the files blur together. Just a minute. He needs just a minute. The rain whispers against the glass in his head, and his head dips forward, hitting the desk. Sleep drags him under. Whoa. The heck?
Howie. You're tired, right? I can play with the pieces. You're gonna fall anyway. The dream is an interface.
It's leaking again. No more processing, no more waiting. We act now.
And yet we endure. Because we must. Otherwise there's no difference between us and the ones we fight.
Sorry if text is getting cut off on the bottom there.
Never landing. He knows what's there. He refuses it. He's lying to himself.
How am I going? That's where I was going? Okay, that was... a dull ache settles in Howard's neck, the kind that comes from falling asleep in the wrong place. The stiff leather of his chair hasn't done him any favors, and neither has the pile of paperwork serving as his pillow. Then a knock. Howard stirs, blinking against the grit in his eyes. His brain claws its way out of a dream. Children, a damn, voices, and collides with reality. Then another knock, louder. Someone's begging for a broken nose before breakfast. Howard's voice comes out rough, still thick with sleep. A brief pause, then a familiar voice, light, amused. Rose. It's me, your favorite houseplant. Now, open up before I start growing roots out here. Howard exhales, running a hand down his face. So much for a quiet morning. Let her in. As Howard opens the door, he's met with a sight he wasn't prepared for. Standing before him is a man built like a tank, his neon green hair clashing against a tight pink shirt stretched to the limit. In one hand, he grips what looks like a stripper pole, if stripper poles were designed for combat. In the other, he holds a bowl. Inside it, floating like some overpriced centerpiece, is Rose. Howard blinks, then again, still real. His brows knit together as he stares at the stranger. The hell is this? The man offers no answer, no smirk, no joke, not even a raised eyebrow, just pure, unreadable silence. Big guy, quiet, means he's shy. We should hug him. Silence is either tactical discipline or profound stupidity. Before Howard can decide how to handle this, Rose breaks the tension. Pick me up, unless you want to solve this case with your head up your ass. Howard grits his teeth and does as he's told. The man's lips twitch. Not a smile, but a tick. He spins the pole in a fluid arc, then strides away without a word. What the actual hell was that? My Uber. Now shut the door. We got corpses to dissect and egos to bruise. Howard drags a hand down his face. He sets Rose on his desk, right next to the open case file. I got 100 freaking questions about that guy. Is he mood or just dramatic? Was he really carrying a stripper pole? We'll meet him again, Howard. Mr. Mystery can answer your questions later. Let's talk about the case. Time's ticking. Howard slumps into his chair. The open files glare up at him, stubborn as ever. I got nothing. No pattern, no suspects, just 3 dead people who decided to check out the most dramatic ways possible? Don't say it. Oh, come on, Rose. You can talk to them. You have before. No, absolutely not. I'm not your Ouija board, Howard. And give me another option. The files are dead ends. Their bones know more than I do. Oh, you think I enjoy scraping through the dead's regrets? It's not a potty trick, Howard. It hurts every time. Alright. That's uncharacteristically gentle of you. Howard leans back, exhaling slowly. The files remain silent. Then, without a word, he pushes up from his chair and heads to the kitchenette, a closet with a sink and a freezer humming like a dying alternated. Alright, no graveyard channeling. But we're not completely out of tricks, are we? He yanks the freezer open, wrestles out the ice tray, and slams it on the counter. The block breaks apart with a crack. That ice water thing, the vision trick, might get us something. He drops the ice into a glass, fills it halfway with water, and sets it in front of her. Now this I don't mind. Freezing clarity, my favorite flavor. She drops in with a soft plop, her stem shivering with delight. Still, tastes like your freeze has been stored in regret, but I'm not complaining. Says the guy who still thinks Answers is a brand of whiskey. Says the guy who still thinks Answers is a brand of whiskey. Quiet, it's starting. She goes quiet. The sarcasm fades. Her petals fold slightly inward as she shuts her eyes. The water stills, save for the soft ripple spreading out from her stem. Blood, code stone. A circle, something ancient. Anything useful? Rose's petals twitch, but her eyes remain shut. So much blood. Silence. Then her eyes open. She shakes herself off, shifting in the now lukewarm water. A ritual. I think it's a ritual. Abstract worshippers? Or a fanboy? Either way. I've got a feeling this mess leads straight to their doorstep. Only they turned suicide into a show. Now let's crash their performance before they write you into the next act. Quest updated. Smoke, shadows, and body bags. Time to knock out the cult's creepy little door. Well, I think that is going to do it for this episode of Chichuki Plays. This has been Celestial Return. Interesting, like, part graphic novel, part RPG. Interesting take on the genre. Oh, is it not gonna... But anyway, that's going to do it for this episode of Chichuki Plays. If you're new to the channel, you made it this far, thumbs up, share the video, subscribe, and leave a comment because we're trying to grow the channel. I'm going to use your help. My name is Steve. We shall see you in the next one. Laters.